Okay, so I'm sure everyone will look at pit bulls and think maybe they have a bad name and that they might be scared of them or they want them illegal. I personally, I don't think they should be illegal, only because any innocent dog or whatever can be aggressive in any way. So, I mean, I know they have like the lockjaw and stuff, which I'll explain later, but maybe they just got their bad names, maybe by their trainers, that I know some come up with like fighting words for their dogs, and it can be easy, like, let's say they say milk, and it could be like attack them or something. And maybe the dog fights that they used to do a long time ago, I know they are illegal now, but there was someone who had gotten in trouble for them, which I can't exactly remember his name, but I know he went to jail and then he had eventually gotten out. But I'm going to be talking about the history of the dogs, how some of them are used as police dogs anywhere. There's a couple states that there's some cops that'll use them, and their aggressiveness and lockjaw and stuff. The history, when they had first started, I know they were mainly used for farm dogs, so they'd pull stuck horses, and then they were also used for hunting because there are a bunch of hunters that believed it'd make how hard their bite is, it'd make their meat more tender. And then the dog fights, I have my own opinion on that. I don't think I'm glad it's actually illegal, because they'd take these aggressive dogs and they'd put them in with these small innocent dogs that don't know how to protect themselves, and they would just attack them until one of them is either dead or they can't fight anymore. There was someone, Diane Jessups, she rescued pit bulls from shelters and the dog fighting, and then she'd train them to be for law enforcement, and she'd give them to officers for free, because they're really good at sniffing out things if they happen to need to attack somebody because they're not responding to the cop or they're not following their rules or whatever. Then the dog will attack them. And then there was also Billy Wells. He was a Milwaukee police, and he rescued a pit bull named Shaka from a pound, and now uses her as a police dog, and he realized her potential. So ever since him, there's been cops that are starting to use them more than German Shepherds. I don't know if I hadn't found any cops that use pit bulls as police dogs in Iowa. And then the breeding of the dogs, there's a lot of different breeds that have pit bull in them, and they've increased since 1997. There weren't many of them, and then ever since they started bringing all these aggressive dogs together, then that just makes the dog even more aggressive, I guess. And then there's a bunch of dogs that are mistaken for pit bulls. Some don't even have pit bull in them, but some accidents that have happened, they just thought it was a pit bull by the way it looked, which, like these ones, the three on the left side, there's no pit in them, but they look like the other three on the right side, and then the far right one is pure pit bull. And then there's the American Bulldog, which he's similar looking. There's the Bulldog breeds. There's an Argentino. There's 4 different kinds that are, I don't really know how to pronounce their names, but they all look really similar to ones that are mistaken. And then there's a bunch of stories, like there's these dogs attacking all these little kids, which mainly I think maybe it's the trainer's fault, and sometimes I don't know, there's been 101 attacks that have been blamed for pit bulls, and only 42 of those attacks were pit bulls or pit bull breeds. And then there was another incident where there were 84 attacks in a different state, and only 24 of those were pit bull. And their lockjaw, when they bite, they don't let go, and as much as they try and let go, they can't get themselves to, and when, like, person's, like, shaking around and stuff, and it's hard for them to, like, get away. And so it just leaves a bunch of scratches and bruises, and sometimes it can kill people. There's a bunch of kennels that Animal Services, they separate the pit bulls until they have passed the evaluation, and then eventually they can go home, or they can go in with other dogs. And then, so really, I just think maybe if people wanted to own a pit bull, maybe they shouldn't be illegal, but I think they should have, like, a permit to own them, and maybe kind of a background check to see if they're responsible enough to actually take care of this dog. So really, I don't think any dog can be aggressive, like I said before, so I don't think they should be illegal, because I don't think it's really fair. I just think the trainers should be able to train them responsibly, I